Hi, everyone. Welcome to True Disabled Story. My name is Nico, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a white man with slicked back blonde hair, large blue and brown spectacles, and a black headset around my head. I'm wearing a blue t shirt with a modified Superman symbol on it, underneath an open golden zip up hoodie. I'm seated in front of a green background, and further back, an orange wall. That's my kitchen. Like about 25% of the US population and nearly 17% of all Philadelphians, I'm disabled. Whether we look locally, nationally, or globally, disabled communities are full of dynamic, diverse, and frankly delightful people with their own stories to tell. As many of you know, I was born disabled. I've never known differently. When I encounter other disabled people in my personal, professional, or civic life, I'm interested to hear their stories and their perspectives. Over the years of my disabled advocacy, I've gotten to know tonight's guest very well. We've co hosted events together, and I really value her perspective. Hi, Jen. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you, Nico. It's great to be here.
Thank you. I'm always glad to speak with you. Tell me, Jen, what was your path to diagnosis like? Was this something that was a surprise to you and your supports, or were you maybe pursuing this diagnosis? Just paint that picture for us.
I was always a clumsy child, and I would get into lots of weird accidents and break my arm and break my glasses a couple of times. So I was always kind of s- clumsy. And then when I was 16, I was having more and more problems. And my handwriting also started to get sloppier. And I was losing my balance a lot. I was having a lot of difficulty walking in a straight line. And finally, I said to my mom, I think something's wrong. We went to a pediatrician, which honestly, I don't even remember, but we did. And that doctor sent me to a neurologist. And I was petrified of needles at this point. And there was something in the back of my mind that said, he's gonna have to do a spinal tap. Now I think they call them spinal punctures, which, probably makes them sound a little better. But so, and my ideas, everything kind of came true. I did end up having a spinal tap. That doctor did not believe any of my symptoms were anything to be worried about. But thankfully, my parents were open to the idea of getting a second opinion, which we did, and then find out I had a neuromuscular disease called Friedrich's ataxia. So technically, because it's genetic, I was born that way. I was also born disabled, but the onset didn't happen until my teen years. So, and that whole journey probably took a little over a year, and it was 1990.
Thank you for sharing that part of your story. What was it like to get this diagnosis and to hear that you've always been disabled? Did that really shake your sense of self, or
Very, very much so. I was petrified when I found out. Part of the other thing that made me more nervous, and that was always in the back of my mind, was that my life expectancy was made a lot shorter. So I really had no idea what was going on, and I turned to uh alcohol for the first probably 2 years after I was diagnosed. So yeah, it was it was a huge thing.
you? So we know up till age 16, the things you were going through, the symptoms that popped up, and ultimately you got this diagnosis. Did you
Mhm.
know a lot about Friedrich's ataxia at the beginning, or did it all you had to research?
I knew absolutely nothing about
Sure.
it. And the doctor told me I had a mild case. So I kind of thought, oh, it's mild. It's something that's gonna pop up here and there. I'm gonna, it's not anything that's going to change my life significantly. And then it coincidentally, when I got the interview or all this diagnostic information, it was right before Labor Day. And it was 1990. It was right before the Labor Day telethon, which was a big deal in the 80s and 90s. And the one thing I had been told was that, oh, it's a form of muscular dystrophy. And at first I was confused because I thought, wait a second, that can be me. I'm not the kids who were on the Jerry Lewis telethon. That was not me or what I was going to be. But then when we watched the Labor Day telethon, they said, oh, here we're speaking to Jason, who was in a wheelchair, and to me, he looked very disheveled and very sad. And they said Jason had Friedrich's ataxia. And I was like, what is going on? Because I had no idea.
That must have been a real shock to see yourself represented on what was back then, right, the national stage as far as
Right.
disability goes, and then to see your condition represented, but as you say, not in a very flattering way. What a
Yes.
shock! All right, my friend. So here you are. You're a great author. You've lived a long disabled life. But if you could go back in your own timeline, right? If you could travel back in time and give your younger self a piece of advice, or even a young person now dealing with Friedrich's ataxia, what advice would you give?
Well, my my neurologist who gave me the second opinion, he gave me the best advice, I think. He told me Friedrich's ataxia is different in every person. So not everyone has the same age of onset, not everyone has the same symptoms, etc., etc. So whatever I read wasn't necessarily the case for me. And he basically gave me a choice. He was like, well, you can go on and not really let this affect your future plans, in terms of what you intend to do, like going to college and things like that, or you just sit and dwell on it. And so I think that was very helpful. But I also think really that thing for people who are newly diagnosed or injured or whatever it is for them just to like not believe the hype about disability. Like um we aren't tragic, we aren't sad, uh we aren't incapable. And to really grab onto the idea that hey, you have value the way you are. You don't need to be fixed. And you know, you it's possible to live a very fulfilling life with a disability. And just because everyone else has low expectations for you, that doesn't mean you need to give in to those as well.
Thank you. In your words, I hear lessons that I've learned from disabled elders, and then I try to pass down to younger disabled people. Just generally speaking, it's fun to do the impossible. And a lot of able bodied people think most things are impossible for disabled people. So
Yeah,
try to surprise ableists and make that like your career.
correct.
That's awesome. Jen, thank you so much. Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you.
I want to use this last question, right, that you and I, as disabled people, so rarely get, and that is a chance to, well, brag about yourself. If you have a recent win or an upcoming win, right, celebrate those things. If you want people to find you online, how can they do that? Share your social media profiles. But hey, just in general, this is your chance to hop up on your soapbox or wheel up, as the case may be. Grab your pom poms, brag about yourself. Let's hear it.
Great. Thank you. Well, so as Nico mentioned, I am an author. My debut memoir is called My Unexpected Life: Finding Balance Beyond My Diagnosis. Uh, and it is available on Amazon, or also it's available at basically any retailer can order it for you, even if it's not actually in the store. They can order it, and it's also available as a ebook on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. And my social media is at Jenny G Writer, WR on Instagram, Jennifer Gassner author on Facebook, and my website is Jennifer Gassner, and again, the spelling is JENNIFERGAS like Sam and is in Nancy ER.
Remarkable. I'll put those links in the video description so people can easily find you. Jen, let me ask you something. I'm coming to the last few videos of this project, and I've had the great fortune to speak with a number of disabled authors and stuff like that. So I'll ask you the same question that I asked them. Did you ever think when you were a kid that you would grow up to become a writer? You say no. Okay. Talk more
Never.
about that.
I thought about it, like I was a really bad poet
Yeah.
from a young age, and I delved, I dealt with it kind of in up through high school. But then a friend of mine was an amazing poet, and so I kind of stopped doing it. But um that whole issue with comparing yourself to somebody else, that also took some time to figure out. But I digress. So yeah, I had no idea.
All right. Ken, thank you so much for spending time with me. It's fantastic to hear your story. I love that you have your memoir out. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I'm rooting for you. And I can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you
Thank,
again.
thanks.
Of course.